Hello everyone. Now, you will hear a short retelling of the film Tim Thaler, or Sold Laughter. Enjoy watching. The film takes place in a small German town, in the 20s of the 20th century. The photographer is going to shoot a school class, and asks no one to smile, but Tim Thaler is too funny, and the picture did not turn out because of him. Tim lives in a poor neighborhood. His father brings him up, and gets a son that needs to be more serious. The man took Tim to the races, and his bet lost. On the way home, Hans promises his son that when they win, they will have lunch at the most luxurious restaurant in the city. Tim's mom has died, and his father wants to connect his life with another woman, who also has a son.
Maybe we'd better get a dog.
The family moved in with the Tylers, and Irvina moved in with Tim in the same room. The older kid immediately began to press Tim, and broke the layout that they made with Mom before her death. Tim called Erwin a bastard, and he immediately complained to his mother, and the woman told Hans about it. They say Tim is too impudent, and offends her son. Despite the bruises and insults, the boy continues to enjoy life. Moreover, his girlfriend Ida supports him in everything, and often tells not funny jokes about worms. Finally, Hans's bet won. As promised, he took his son to the Grand Hotel, but the poor were simply not allowed inside. Back then, Tim didn't know how miserable life could become in an instant. Soon his father died at a construction site due to an accident. The greedy stepmother did not even make a sign with her husband's name, and did not buy flowers for the grave. Kim burst into tears and ran away. He looked at the Grand Hotel, and then ran to the racetrack. He found a coin on the ground. At the same moment, a man with glasses approached him, and handed him a ticket, assuring the boy that he was winning. The stranger assures the guy that he knew his father, and therefore wanted to help. Despite the minimal odds, it was the horse that Tim bet on that won. The boy was given a whole lot of money at the cash register, but instead of being happy, he burst into tears, remembering his father. The naive guy was immediately courted by a couple of scammers. The guy took a bundle of banknotes, and showed the kid how to store money so that thieves wouldn't get to them, and then returned the bundle back to its owner. In the evening, a mysterious stranger approached Tim again, and informed him that the boy had lost all his money. And indeed, in the handkerchief, instead of banknotes, there was sliced paper. The man made another gift, a 5-mark coin. Baron Treich promised Tim that he would win again at the races in a week. The main thing is to come to the gazebo at the racetrack by 3 o'clock. The stepmother sends Tim to the bakery every day for cakes, and always takes them on loan. Tim hopes that today he will win, and finally pay for the honey. As agreed, Tim came to the gazebo at 3 o'clock, but the Baron was not there, and the boy dozed off. But a couple of scammers appeared, and they again left the boy without money. Now he will not be able to pay for the winning ticket. It's a pity you're so unlucky with money, said Treich, and immediately offered the boy to sell his laughter. He already has a contract with him. In exchange for a laugh, Tim gets the opportunity to win any bet. And if he still loses, then the boy will get his laughter back. But, if Tim tells someone about this contract, he will lose both laughter and luck. The guy signed the contract, although the pen initially resisted. The smile immediately left the lips of the merry man. Treich gave him 5 marks, and offered to go and bet on the most hopeless horse. Taking off his glasses, he showed his creepy yellow eyes. In a few minutes, Tim has raised 670 marks, but he feels strange. The voice and mood changed. He returned Mamida's debt, and invited the girl herself to the cinema. And if he used to laugh during the session, now everyone laughs except him. But the satisfied Baron laughs nonstop. He praised his demon workers, the very scammers who had robbed him several times. The boss gave them the task to monitor the boy every day, and send him reports. And so that Tim wouldn't recognize them, the demon turned a couple into rats. He ordered all the other minions to constantly laugh and have fun from now on. Ida thought that the gloomy friend was angry at her for something, and also took money from somewhere. Tim joked that he had robbed the senator, and tried to laugh. The lame girl decided that this was not a joke, so she got scared and ran away. She told her mom about everything. One woman overheard the conversation, and passed it on to her friends, and they to their own. And that's how the rumor of the crime spread all over the street. When Tim returned home, Erwin took the money, and the stepmother was about to beat his ass off, but then the Momides came to them and saved the boy, saying that no one attacked the senator. Tim realized that the girl had betrayed him and was upset. Meanwhile, the rats are thinking about how to write reports, because now they have paws instead of hands. Tim takes full advantage of his superpower and leaves the guys without pocket money during the game, because every ball he throws rolls right into the center of the circle. When Tim argued with Erwin that the chair was broken, the furniture immediately crumbled. Nobody wants to play with Tim anymore. Even the school outcast, the bespectacled man, and the fat man don't hang out with him. The rats felt a little sorry for the lonely boy. Suddenly, the Baron teleported Behemoth to himself and demanded to tell a joke. The demon didn't like the joke. He gave the henchman a second chance. If the joke does not come to him again, then the Behemoth's colleague will go to the basement for 1,000 years. In the end, the demon just threw him on the floor and laughed. And yes, she wants to make peace with Tim, so she brought him a cake. But the boy was not at home, and Erwin ate the cake in one snout. Relatives came to the racetrack with Tim. They saw with their own eyes how each boy's bet wins. Tim advised to put absolutely all the money he won on a horse that would be physically unable to come first. The rate is 1 to 135, and suddenly, their horse came forth. However, the audience was immediately informed that after being examined by veterinarians, the horses that took the first 3 places were disqualified. That's how the family won 40,000 francs, but Tim himself was not pleased. In the evening he approached the reader. He was invited to go inside by the bartender, who also often visits the racetrack, and has long noticed a lucky guy. He wonders how Tim knows so much about horse racing. After learning that the boy was an orphan, Krishimir offered him a snack. Tim argued with a new acquaintance that he would get a job here. The hostess immediately approached them and informed them that they needed an elevator operator. The old one had disappeared somewhere. That's how Tim got a job as an elevator operator. However, he will not be able to smile at the guests.
Can I sleep here? They work here, they sleep.
He had a dream in which he asked Treich to return his laughter. The next day, he left the house, leaving a farewell note. He also said goodbye to Ida, the only person dear to him. Ida was very upset. This time the Baron came to her. The demon lies that Tim turned away from her because of her clubfoot. He likes girls with healthy legs more, but a man can help her. Ida, you just need to make a deal with him. Tim wants to put a beautiful tombstone to his father, so he came to Ams, and, choosing the most expensive monument, argued with him that he had seen exactly the same one on Hans Tyler's grave. Soon he was there. Tim is looking for the Baron at the racetrack, but the workers drove away the boy who was too lucky. There is no track in the phone book. The maids caught the werewolf rats and wanted to kill them. Tim said he would figure it out and let the animals go free. At the same time, the Baron forces them to constantly write reports. Tim rereads the contract and dreams of losing the bet at least once to get his laughter back. The boy figured out how to find the Baron. He made a bet with Krishimir that Treich would come here tomorrow. The whole hotel was on its ears before the visit of a large number of villains from all over the world, and the main one among them was the Baron. Kim told him that he intended to get his laugh back. Treich took off his glasses. It turned out that his eyes were no longer demonic. After contacting the Behemoth, he demanded that they keep an eye on the boy. The villains attacked the food like hungry animals. Tim seemed to understand whose eyes the Baron got, so he quickly bet that he would get into Ida's mom's bakery. Despite the order, the minions chose to eat cake rather than follow the boy. Tim ran to Ida, who was hiding in a dark room. The girl lies to everyone that she has an eye infection. She made a deal with the Baron because of Tim, because he only likes girls with healthy legs. The boy persuades his girlfriend to make a bet with him that she will be able to get her eyes back. At the same time, the Baron performed in front of the villains. It got dark in the hall, and right in the middle of the speech, the crack became ill, his demonic eyes returned to him. The girl was very happy, because her eyes and healthy legs remained with her. The Baron threatens his henchmen that if they fail him again, he will destroy them. Shamir guessed that his young friend was winning any bet he made, and immediately made sure of it by betting that the horse would not come to the hotel and would not come to the counter. Then Krishimir wanted the hostess of the hotel to fall in love with him and kiss him right now. The lady was already walking towards him, but at the last moment, the man cancelled the bet.
Get to work now, or you're fired.
He will try to win her heart by his own efforts. The shrewd Krishimir also realized that the boy wanted to lose the bet at least once. The man came up with the idea to make Tim richer than the richest man, because it's impossible. They made a bet, but the smile never returned. Having written out the Baron's name, Treich, Krishimir read it backwards, and it turned out Dem. When the man was riding in the elevator, the demon appeared to him. Krishimir lost consciousness and became very ill. At night, a policeman came for Tim with a crowd of guards. Baron Treich died, and Tim was a decree in the wool as his sole heir. The boy became the richest man in the world. They brought him to the mansion, and, having led him past the coffin with the Baron, settled him in the nursery. In the morning, the boy looked around and appreciated how many expensive things surround him. He also learned that Baron Treich would become his guardian. Allegedly, he is the twin brother of a deceased rich man. Kim again asked for his laughter back, and this time, for some reason, the demon did not refuse. A whole crowd of reporters burst into the mansion. They took pictures of the laughing boy, but as soon as they were gone, everything was back as it was. We have a contract, Tim, do you understand? And it just so happened, now it's my laugh. The Baron admits that he needs a smile in order to conclude villainous contracts, for example, to pump out all the water from an African village, and then sell it to the local population in bottles. The Baron has a huge office where demons find similar schemes. And the Treich has a remote control that causes fires, disasters, and epidemics. Kim saw through the demon. Despite his power, he tries to be like people and selects their traits. It turns out that with every bet won, Tim loses a part of his soul and will soon also become a demon. A stepmother and her son came to Tim to ask a rich man for a loan. They lost all their winnings at the races. Having sealed the villains' mouths, the guy said he would give them 60,000 francs, after which he drove them away. The demon makes one bet after another with him, taking a bite out of Tim's soul. The Baron brought the boy to the room from which he would learn to rule the world. If Kim wants Ida to be alive and well, he must forget about her. The girl found out where her friend lives and came to him. But Kim is deliberately rude to Ida. The only thing he asked her to make a bet with him that a certain Krish and the world will recover. And the man recovered immediately. Kim humiliated his girlfriend once again, and, upset, she walked away. Although the Baron's got a laugh, he doesn't know how to use it. So Tim tells the demon when to laugh while watching a comedy. The minions discuss that it was the Baron who killed Tim's father to get his laugh. The villain ordered posters with the image of a laughing Tim to be put up around the city and shot him and showed Krisha to the world. The poster says that Tim is arranging the Thaler Cup at the racetrack and absolutely everyone will win at the races. The crowd welcomes the richest man on the planet. Tim stood next to the choir of the orphanage for the photographer to take a picture. As always, he asks the children not to smile. The villain offers him to argue with the orphan for his laughter, and then the two of them will be able to laugh. Behemoth tries to prevent Ida from getting to his friend, but Belial persuades his partner, on the contrary, to help the girl. The demons sent Tim under the podium. There his friends were waiting for him, and offered the boy to bet that he would be able to laugh again. Then he will get his laugh back, even if he loses. The Baron sensed something was wrong, and the sky was overcast. It started raining heavily. A detached Tim says he doesn't need laughter anymore, but Ida's next not funny joke about worms helped him come to his senses. The moment the evil demon entered the room, Kim reached out and made a bet that he would be able to laugh again. That's how, with the help of friends, Tim was able to deceive the Baron and regain his laughter. An unhappy old man is sitting on the grass and crying with diamonds. Out of spite, the scoundrel turned his assistants into rats again, and yes, promised to take care of them. And Tim was adopted by Ida's mom, and they began to live together.